I'm going to show you how to graph a line and do some other cool things with Google Sheets. So we're working with this worksheet and this scenario. It says the population of a Midwestern city was 350,000 in 1990, and it's been decreasing at a constant rate of 15,000 people per year. Make a table and then graph this. So that's what we're going to work on. So here's my Google Sheet, and my Midwestern city table is going to go here. And so I'm just going to enter a couple of numbers here. And we talked about these things yesterday in class. So Google knows what you're doing, and so if you would like it to continue counting for you, you have to highlight all of the cells that you've entered so it can see what the pattern is. But once you've done that, you can just grab hold of the handle down here and pull it down as far as you would like. If we want Google to compute the values that go in the table, the formula for the population T years after 1990 is going to be equals. You always need to begin a formula with an equals, and then we want 350 minus, since the population is decreasing, 15 times whatever we have in this cell over here. And if I hit enter, we get the result of the formula. But the cool thing is that we can just copy this. Notice that I'm not going to copy the first cell in this part of the table because there's no formula there, and I don't want to copy that over and over. I just want to copy this one. So I'll just grab it by the handle and pull it down, and there we have our complete table, and that is fun. Okay, now we want to graph this. So we'll take everything in all of the numerical parts of the table and highlight them, and then we'll go to Insert, and we want to insert a chart. That's what Google Sheets calls graphs and charts of any kind. And this is what Google suggests. That's not exactly what we want. So I'll go over here to the chart editor, and I want to change the chart type to a line. And once I do that, it's pretty much done. Google noticed that there are headings up here, and so it included those headings as axis titles, and those headings are pretty good, but we want to customize them a little bit. So chart and axis titles, we might want to change the chart title to something that illustrates that this is the Midwestern city population. Yeah, and maybe we want to make that, I don't know, gray, because I think of the Midwest as being a gray place. We'll make the title a little bit bigger. Maybe we'll make it bold. You can change the font here if you want to. You can, you can do all kinds of things. Okay. And then for the axis titles, let's see, the horizontal axis title, the years after 1990, that seems pretty good. The vertical axis title is population, and we should probably indicate that this is the population in thousands. And you can change the colors and all of that here if you would like to also. The only other thing that we want to change, and we talked about this in class, it can be deceiving if both of our axes don't begin at 0. And on the horizontal axis, we do begin at 0, but the vertical axis begins at 225. And so let's fix that. So that's, you can go to either of the axes to change the place where the axis begins. And we want to change the minimum to 0. And once we do that, we can see that the appearance of the graph is more like the one that we drew by hand. where the horizontal and the vertical axes are both hitting each other right here at 0. And I think that's pretty good for the Midwestern population graph. I'll put that right here. The other problem that we wanted to create a graph for is problem 7 and 8, and this is a city in the Pacific Northwest starts out at 150,000 and it's increasing at a rate of 8,500 people per year. So the procedure is pretty much the same. We'll enter a couple of values here, highlight all of them so Google can see what the pattern is. And then for the formula, we want 150,000 people plus 8,500 people times the number of years after 1990. And again, if we grab hold of that and copy it down, then we get, just like that, so easy, we get our table for the Pacific Northwest city population. So we can go through the same steps to create a graph for that, highlight the data, go to Insert and Chart. It's going to give us a column chart once again, but we can go in and tell it, note we want a line chart, and there it is. And now we need to make the same kinds of changes that we made on the other graph. I'm going to pause the video while I make those changes. And so there, we have both of our graphs completed, and I've jazzed them up a little bit. You can go crazy with colors and fonts, and I encourage you to have a good time with it.